This is a crash course on naming binary ionic compounds. So the focus is on binary ionic compounds. These compounds, as you can see from the name, are compounds that are made up of two different elements. And since they're ionic compounds, you're going to see that they're made up of a metal and a non-metal. And an example would be NaCl. Notice it is a binary ionic compound because there's two different elements in it. We have the Na and the Cl. You can see there's two uppercase letters, and those two uppercase letters indicates two different elements. And again, it's ionic because we have a metal and a non-metal. So to name binary ionic compounds, it's as simple as naming the metal first. And then after you name the metal, you'll name the non-metal. But you need to change its ending to IDE, IDE, and that would be your name for the binary ionic compound. So let's do a few examples together. We'll start off with NaCl. If you don't know the names, you need to go to your periodic table to find the names of these elements. The first element here is Na, so it's sodium. The second element over here, that's our non-metal, that's chlorine. Chlorine. But you need to change the ending to IDE. So this becomes sodium and then chloride. Chloride. Let's do another example together. Here we have Ca. Now let's do a different non-metal. CaI2. So here we have our metal. Our metal is simply calcium. We don't change the ending there. Our non-metal over here is iodine. Since that's our non-metal and it's ionic compound, we have changed the ending to IDE. So we have iodide. Calcium iodide. Let's try another example together. We'll do, and you can try to pause the video and try it yourself. MgO. So firstly, recognize this ionic because you have a metal and a non-metal. The metal is magnesium, so the name does not change there, magnesium. The non-metal is oxygen. Now for this one, you need to remember that when you modify the ending of oxygen to IDE, it becomes oxide. It's a little bit different than the others, but it's still an IDE ending. It's just you're replacing this whole thing here by IDE. We'll try a few more that follow the same rules, but the ending might not be as intuitive. Let's do this over here. Ba3N2. So here's our metal. That's barium. We do not change the ending for barium. Here is our non-metal. This is nitrogen. So we need to change the ending to IDE. So we erase that part there and change it to IDE. So this becomes barium nitride, IDE. We will do two more. So we'll have K2S, ionic compound because we have a metal and non-metal. The metal is potassium. The non-metal is sulfur. The ending changes to IDE, so potassium sulfide. Potassium sulfide. Let's try this one over here. We'll make some room. So we'll do Li3P. I know it's ionic because there's a metal and a non-metal. My metal is lithium. Do not change the ending. My Non-metal is phosphorus. So I change the ending of phosphorus to phosphide. And now we've seen how to name simple binary ionic compounds with metals and nonmetals. We don't change the ending of the metal. We do change the ending of the nonmetal to IDE. We'll do one more. You can pause the video and try it yourself to see that you're on the right track. So we'll do Na2O. So again, it is ionic because we have a metal and a nonmetal. The metal is named sodium. This is the nonmetal, oxygen over here. We change the ending of oxygen to oxide. So this is sodium oxide. And it doesn't matter how many, it doesn't matter what your little number is there. Like if it's Na2, I2, if you had a 3, you wouldn't indicate that with dioxide or disodium or anything like that, because those prefixes don't apply to binary ionic compounds or to ionic compounds in general. Let's actually try one more, just because it's good to get more practice with these. Let's do this one here. So Al, Br3. Once again, recognize it's ionic, metal and non-metal. Our metal is aluminum. Do not change the ending because that's our metal. So aluminum. Our non-metal is bromine. Now don't forget that for the non-metal, you need to change the ending from INE to IDE. So this is aluminum bromide.